Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 4th episode of our podcast, We Talk a Lot. I'm Abby.
And I'm Emmy.
And this is an exciting episode. It's going to be a lot about social media. We have a few different topics to discuss, specifically about problematic YouTubers, the Twitch leak, if you haven't heard.
I know about YouTube because I love YouTube.
Yes, that's one thing Emmy does watch, is YouTube.
Yes, I do.
So we're talking about the Twitch leak, kind of like the psychology behind social media a little bit. So a wide variety of topics. But first, I just wanted to chit chat and see, Emmy's actually going on another vacation. You'd be surprised because every single time we film this podcast, it's like, oh, Emmy has to leave tomorrow. So where are you going this time, Emmy?
Tomorrow I'm going to Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm so excited. My coworker from last year, her name is Miss Bronwyn Gilmore. She is getting married and we're doing her bachelorette party.
Oh, that's fun. So you're going to be in Arizona for how long?
I will be in Arizona from Wednesday to Sunday.
Ooh, so the day this podcast drops, you'll be there.
Boom, baby.
That's fun. So do you have anything fun planned? Is it a secret to her?
It is all a secret to her. She is a very, what's the word? Not timid, shy. She's a shy bride, right? Shy.
She's not like a bridezilla.
No. She's not a bridezilla. She's a very shy bride. And, we're just doing like hang out at the pool. We're going to go on a hike. She doesn't know where the spot is.
Oh, so very relaxing. Not like get drunk every night, strippers.
Yes, she wanted it to be like very relaxing girls' weekend. So,
that's fun.
Yeah, we're doing dinner. She doesn't know the spot. I picked the spot and I picked the hike. Those were my two duties as the planner of this bachelorette party, along with her two other best friends.
Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like fun. Like I want a bachelorette party that is a little bit crazier, but I would love for like a bridal part. Like also like I would love to go glamping. Go on a hike and relax. Yeah. Maybe get like a spa treatment with my girls.
Yeah, totally. I definitely want a spa day and nothing else. I imagine for this wedding that I'm not having, because if you know me, I don't want a wedding. So why would you have a bridal party or a bridal shower or a bachelorette? You wouldn't. But
well, it depends too, because you might not have a big wedding, but I mean, you have two sisters.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided.
And you have a mom.
Yeah, I know. But if I was going to do something, I don't know if it's going to happen. Not even engaged yet. But in my little messed up weird dreams up here, I imagine a total full-on spa day and a tea party with little crumpets and tea and little macaroons and cookies and nothing else. That. Just like relaxing, girly spa, like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. So when did you get back from your last trip?
I got back from my last trip.
It's already been a week, right?
It's been a week. It's been so nice to be home.
Yeah.
Nice.
I bet.
Yeah. And I missed you a lot.
Where were you? You were in...
And I missed you a lot.
Oh, thank you. Of course, I missed you too. You were in...
I was in Michigan for like 2 seconds.
Oh, that's right. For the proposal.
Yes, which they already know about because we talked about it.
Yeah, we did talk about it last episode. I just blanked on it. So that's like the second to last trip now. You're going to Arizona, and then it's already like midway through October. I know, it's crazy.
Already. October's flown by.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
Enough about me. Anything happening new with you?
Oh my God. I feel like I live such a boring life in comparison to you, Emmy. Like, I do nothing. It's midterm week.
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, I had a midterm on Sunday.
That's why you're so stressed.
Yeah, I am. I got a bad migraine.
You failed to tell me it's midterms.
I've been doing a side business. I've been walking dogs for some extra cash.
Yeah, so that's cute.
Really, just same old, nothing new in my house.
Okay, cool beans.
Yeah. Hopefully one day I'll have a fun update to tell you guys. Maybe one day.
You're fun, Abby, because I'm with you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I wanted to spend a little bit of time too on some updates on past cases because we actually do have an update. I don't know if you saw, but we talked a little bit about how there was really no update last week on the Gabby Petito case because Brian wasn't found. Just that dog, the bounty hunter, had joined the search. But actually,
My dad sent us a video.
he did.
Yeah, and I didn't click on it.
Oh, okay. So
I had a really, really hard day in second grade.
It was this morning, right?
Yeah, I had to give a math test 3 times today.
Yeah, because I believe today, Gabby Petito's autopsy results were released.
That's right. I knew the video headline said autopsy.
Yeah,
Lay it on me.
so her cause of death was reported as strangulation, and it was officially ruled a homicide. This is by the Teton County coroner, Dr. Brent Blue. What he said is, like, he didn't say much. He didn't say the condition of her body, like how it was found. He didn't mention anything other than that she was killed by strangulation. Like, people wanted to know if there were bruises or marks, and he didn't even say anything. He said, all I can really comment on is that her body was outside in the wilderness for at least 3 to 4 weeks before it was found. And again, he declined to say whether the body had bruising or whether the body had been buried above ground or had been buried or left above ground. He didn't comment on that. So, but he did say that she was not pregnant. So it was not like an issue that, Brian killed her because, she was pregnant or something like that. So she was not pregnant at the time. But the coroner did say that during the autopsy, they collected DNA samples from her body. He did not comment whether they were foreign or her own DNA. I assume they're foreign. So then that will help with prosecution of her case if the DNA is matched to somebody, potentially Brian. Obviously, they would need, his DNA and a warrant for that.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting stuff. I mean, I feel like things have been pretty quiet for a few weeks while nothing, Brian hasn't been caught. And, I think there's not been much movement on her case. So this is definitely something that's getting things going a little bit more. Wow. I feel like we all knew it was homicide, but strangulation, yeah, that's really sad.
That's really
sad. I really hope they find him. And
Me too. I'm still in shock that they haven't found him yet.
No, like, come on. Where could he freaking be hiding? It's insane.
With the technology that we have, come on now.
I know.
But don't they need a warrant to, like, look up phone?
Yeah.
Like, you need a warrant to, like, find that stuff.
For some data security camera use, you need warrants and stuff like that. So
it's too bad.
I mean, it's not like the NSA is helping out at all. Right. It's not that big of a case. But Okay, so the U.S. national debt ceiling we talked about in last week's episode. I do have some clarification. So I believe, like, the day we posted our episode,
like hours later, minutes later.
So
it was like ironic. It was like right after we had posted.
That is
not
funny.
After we filmed, we posted.
Yeah. So the announcement of the deal came with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell made a deal to up the debt limit at least until the beginning of December. They were deadlocked over this issue for a long time, and eventually, they had to do something because we're getting to the point of, like,
right. So probably
default.
I imagine they're just gonna keep raising it.
Well, they have to.
December's gonna come, then it's gonna be the next one.
I feel like at this point, like, I don't know what the Republicans are holding out on. Like, they don't want to sign an infrastructure bill or something like that, but they have to. Like, they're not going to let us default. There's no way.
Right.
But I
wonder why they waited so long, though. But
probably to get some political power,
I guess.
But so now the debt ceiling was increased by $480 billion, and this is exactly what the Treasury Department told Congress it would need to get to at least December 3rd. So it's now put into the House of Representatives to sign that deal, and I'm hoping that gets signed. There's a vote that's expected to happen, but that's only like a few weeks. It's only a small amount of time.
I know. Christmas is coming.
Literally December 3rd. Like,
I know.
They're going to have to talk about it super soon. It's like, it's not like a year.
I'm sure this will be back in the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
An ongoing topic.
I did want to mention and clarify what actually happens when we default on our debt. So there's a variety of things that I mentioned when we talked about the topic last week. what would happen when we default. But one of them, which I was confused upon, is that the idea of us losing our credit ratings with other countries, meaning we sorry, my dog is going batshit crazy. So we lose our credit rating with other countries, meaning that we'll have to pay a higher interest with them. They might think twice or be more apprehensive about loaning us money in the future.
Yeah, it's literally like your own credit score, but like now it's in the nation.
Exactly.
With like other countries. So it's not just like based off you yourself. It's like, okay, the United States credit score.
Yeah.
No one's going to want to do anything with us.
Shout out to Mike Lean1, because I'm not a financial expert. I'm not an economic expert. I don't have a degree. So it was hard to really understand the scope of it. And he reached out afterwards and clarified a few things. So that helped. He also mentioned that a big reason that the debt is like so huge is because of tax cuts for the rich that happened during Trump's administration.
Which is literally basically what I said to do, was just make the rich pay more.
Yeah.
So
you should run for
even
president.
Even though I was super very off and didn't really know what I was talking about, I really did, because in the end, what are we doing? We might be taxing the rich more.
Well, we should.
Yeah.
The rich should be taxed more. So, however, like the debt ceiling, like it's been self-imposed for like 100 years now, to force us to regularly address it. So we were always going to eventually address it again. It's just that we're addressing it so soon now because of the tax cuts during Trump's administration, which is also kind of crazy that the Republicans are like, we don't want to up it. We want the Democrats to figure out where to find more money. We're like, no, the reason we're in this situation right now is because of Trump. So it's kind of like funny that the Republicans in Congress are upset at the Democrats.
Definitely makes more sense once we've like talked about it off air and dabbled into that.
Exactly. And in total, it shouldn't be a partisan issue. It shouldn't be Republicans versus Democrats in Congress. It should be, and everybody's in this crazy situation. We all need to vote to up the debt ceiling. Otherwise, we all get screwed.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be one pinned against the other. Truly. And that takes us to the last concept, which is the crazy idea about the $1 trillion coin, which is like a concept. We won't discuss it too much, but supposedly there was an idea floating around about minting $1 trillion coin to be given to the Federal Reserve, which is like crazy, so that like they can bypass any necessity for the United States to need to raise the country's borrowing limit. And it's kind of like,
it just sounds out of this world.
It sounds like a what?
Yeah.
Do you think like you could actually, do you think if somebody like stole it, they could actually use it?
No, because literally FBI would be all over them.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Everybody, the SWAT team. Like if they did do that, there'd only be one. So like, yes, it would be very precious and valuable, but like, no, like you couldn't just like pick that up off the street and be like, yeah, I'm about to use this at the store.
I need to fence it. Yeah.
Right. There's no way.
No, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, that's a little update. Final update for you is about Jan and Mike's proposal. That's Emily's parents. Mike wanted to clarify that the significance, if you listen to last episode.
Pause. Yeah. You need to go back to last week's episode. 1, because we're awesome. 2, because go listen to it. And 3, we're talking about this.
So if you're watching on YouTube, I do make chapters, so you should be able to look at the scroll bar at the bottom and you can find the exact timing of each story.
We try to be,
we know that the episodes are long. So, we try to make, easily accessible for people.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so back to Jan and Mike's proposal.
So they got engaged right near a lifeguard stand.
In front of
at the beach. And the significance, it wasn't just random, they weren't just walking on the beach.
And I'm so dumb. I'm like, my dad took her to a blah blah blah.
It was the spot of their first date, and they, had takeout Chinese food and they were eating on the beach, and there was like this big memorable moment. So it was 4th of July.
Which was so funny because your parents were engaged on 4th of July too.
I don't think so. I think it was winter.
Oh yeah, it was winter. Why did I think that?
I don't know.
Weird. Okay, never mind.
So, maybe it was 4th of July. That's why I called my dad, because I don't remember stuff like that.
Well, she was in a carriage ride.
Yeah.
So maybe it probably was winter. I just literally got that from nowhere.
So the proposal was on 4th of July, and it was right before the fireworks went off, and
Yep.
it was cute and perfect, and I
Yeah.
wish that I have a partner one day that
will.
proposes to me in something as
You
special
will.
as that.
You totally will. I
Okay.
can guarantee. But yes, Mike did want to clarify.
Yes.
There was a reason why they were at the lifeguard stand.
Now to the real meat of the situation, our first topic, the Twitch leak. So do you know what Twitch is?
Yes, because when I watch YouTube, some of them are also Twitch streamers, and they have like the big gaming chairs, and does Twitch have a brand of chairs? Because I've seen like their logo on the back of some of them.
I don't know. Maybe they were gifted chairs. I don't think they have their brand of chairs.
Well, I just know because I watch YouTubers who also are Twitch streamers. So I
Yeah.
do know what Twitch is.
So yeah, Twitch, if you don't know, is a live streaming platform mainly used by gamers
Yeah.
to live stream them playing their games. But in recent years, it has,
Blown up.
yeah.
Like people are making lots of money.
Oh, so much money. And it's not just gaming anymore. It's like literally like people going about their daily lives, like watching videos, commenting,
Right.
talking to people. Like there's a whole just chatting section where it's not people playing any games. It's just people chatting with their viewers. So it's kind of changed the idea of what we thought of live streaming, which was like 5 years ago. I thought live streaming was like I would watch somebody play a game that I liked and I would enjoy it.
Which I think that's so weird because I have second graders. Excuse me. I have second graders who love Roblox.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
will literally go watch other people play Roblox.
You sound like my mom now.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
So I
Why
actually-
don't you just play your own Roblox game? I don't
Well,
get it.
Maybe you're not as good as them, or maybe they're funny, or it's like content. It's consuming content. It's like, why do you watch somebody on YouTube talk about their day? Why don't you live your day? Like, it's something to pass time.
I mean, I guess I just like, aren't you supposed to play the game like yourself?
There's so
It's
many
like
different
cheating
facets
because you're gonna
to
just go and
entertainment.
watch them and then do what they do.
No, because games like blocks that are open world games, it's not like there's a certain quest. There's no end goal.
Whatever, not my thing. Anywho, something leaked.
Yes.
Everybody, let me tell you, something leaked.
This was actually like the biggest leak that a lot of people have ever seen come from a company. So an anonymous hacker leaked the entirety of Twitch source code and user payout information through, it was a 125 gigabit torrent link to the website 4chan, which is famous for hackers and trolls. It's like a
That's crazy.
dark web website. And they stated that the leak was intended to foster more disruption and competition in the online video streaming space because they just think that Twitch's community is a disgusting, toxic cesspool. So essentially, like they're like, we don't like Twitch. We want to
we're gonna
disrupt
do
it.
this.
We hacked them, and we're
Right.
going to upload it.
Right. And so then I did a little Google search.
Yeah.
People were getting mad because they could see how much other people were making.
Yeah. So it didn't just include the source code. This is actually what the entirety of the data included. So Twitch's source code, creator payouts from 2019 to when it was leaked in October. So every single payout that every single person on the app or website has
Crazy.
gotten. Every client that, mobile, desktop, console, client means like any person that has logged in or created an account. So they have passwords, encrypted data, basically proprietary SDKs, internal AWS services. Like you would know, that's kind of developer talk. Basically like every property that Twitch owns, including an unreleased competitor codename Vapor that's competing with Steam, which is this large platform for downloading and buying games. And they were Twitch was supposedly building a competitor to it, and now it's leaked way before they were ever going to come out and talk about it. So I wonder what that's going to do.
No bueno.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like Twitch is now like crap. We're like dead in the water with that. Because now Steam knows, now everybody knows. So yeah.
So
It's pretty crappy for Twitch. They've responded. Let me find what they said. Twitch confirmed the leak is authentic. And they said...
They're like, yes, we did really just get...
boned.
Yeah.
By hackers.
Pooped up the booty.
Because I think it was a week after they had confirmed, because eventually people were trying to corroborate the information. They were like asking developers that used to work for Twitch, is this correct? And Twitch eventually just came out and said, we can confirm that a breach has taken place. Our teams are working with urgency to understand the extent of this. We will update the community as soon as additional information is available. Thank you for bearing with us. Basically just like...
yeah, we got it.
It happened. We're screwed. We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So the major issue that people are finding is, one, obviously the passwords. Like, this is why you should have two-factor authentication, which if you don't know what two-factor authentication is, good.
It's like when Google asks you what your phone number is, and like you go to your phone and type in the,
It's basically a second step in security where you have to use an additional device.
Yeah, what I just said.
To confirm that you're the one logging in.
Yeah, totally.
So passwords were leaked. That's why people are like, you need to use two-factor authentication. Be careful. Change your passwords,
Yeah.
But also, all of this creator payouts. And somebody actually took all of the payouts and made a list of the richest, like, top 100.
People have way too much time on their hands.
They there was like a Google spreadsheet of it floating around.
And you can copy that and you can do whatever you want with that. That's not going anywhere. That's going to live forever.
Oh yeah. All that information is living forever. So essentially somebody collected all of the creators and what they were paid from August 2019 to October 2021. So 2 years worth of payout data. And the top streamer from that, Critical Role, it's a company. Critical Role is not a individual user. It's like a company, and they like stream. Like there's a bunch of people to it.
Okay.
So like they have a bunch of people that stream for them.
Sure.
But they made in those 2 years $9.6 million just on Twitch. Not from merch, not from, selling anything else.
Should we get on Twitch?
Well, actually, a lot of Twitch streamers, you could also look at the data too. A lot of Twitch streamers not in the top 100 make under minimum wage.
Oh, really?
Let me get that data. I want to see. There's 9 million streamers on Twitch, and just the top 0.1% make enough to survive.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's really hard at this point to get in when there's already 9 million people and create a niche. It's probably really hard.
It's like YouTube. You have to be that one lucky.
Exactly.
It's like podcasts. We're waiting for our one lucky
hit.
Boom, baby. Hit.
So this is the second top streamer, which is actually an individual. He's one person. He streams like 8-10 hours a day. He made in those 2 years $8.4 million. So not a company, not has to pay a bunch of people. That income goes to him.
Bravo.
That's like a lot of money. And that's not including like brand deals. That's not including merch. That's not including anything else.
Just Twitch.
So think about just ad revenue, just, subscriptions, because in Twitch subscriptions cost money. And through subscriptions and ad revenue, Twitch takes a certain percentage. For most people, it's about 50%.
So that number's after that?
So that number's after Twitch takes at least some portion.
We would call that a shoot dog a dog.
I know. Like, think about how much money Twitch is making.
Yeah, I know.
So much money. And another thing, too. So people are a little bit, like, upset about the amount of money that their streamers are making.
Well, yeah. I'd be like, that's my private information.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, that's a little awkward that everyone knows.
Well, a lot of the viewers are like, these people play as everyday, like they let, like, I think the people you watch play it up as like they're everyday people. They're playing a game, they're having fun, you know, they're in, you can, like, most of the time they're in their small little room with their gaming chair. They kind of mirror how like a viewer would be, how you know, a teenager plays a video game, and that has relatability in it. It makes somebody want to watch them. And when you take into account that this person is making millions of dollars a year, it takes that relatability out of it. And it's like, why am I giving my money to this person? Why am I watching them? Like, they actually like could afford a mansion and I live in like a small apartment. Like, it takes that relatability out. So a lot of people are like, holy crap, I didn't realize how successful these Twitch streamers are. Because I'm like, sure, like, people thought like, oh, maybe they make 100,000 or something. Like, maybe they make a good living.
Well, I mean, that's the world we live in now. We are in the 21st century. It's 2021, and like, you don't have to go to college to be successful. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Right.
But I'm also saying, like, if that's not for you, I support that.
There's so many alternative means.
Right, like, you can do anything now.
But too, like, this also legitimizes streaming as an actual job. Because look how many people are making a strong living off of it.
But it's like acting. It's like going to Hollywood.
Exactly.
Like,
but it, you know,
not everybody can be Hannah Montana. Miley Cyrus got picked.
Right. Oh, I like that. Of course, yeah.
You know,
I like that analogy.
But that's like YouTube. That's like,
yeah, exactly.
being a singer, you have to get picked up. Like, that's like podcast. That's Twitch. Like you said, it's only the top 0.01% So it makes sense.
Okay, so as we're on the topic of social media, I want to talk about the whole, this is a story Emily is excited for. When I brought this up to her, she was like, yes. If you don't know how our format goes, I come up with the topics, and then Emily and I kind of have a meeting before it.
Well, we just changed to that.
Yeah.
We have a meeting now before. I know the topics now.
And I let her know what the 3 or 4 topics are so she can, you know, get her opinions and her take on it.
Right.
And when I told her this, she was excited because
I was like, yes, something I know.
Exactly, because it's her domain. It's something
my
that
domain.
She knows. So she can actually bring something valuable to the conversation.
Well, I feel like I always tell you my true opinion.
Of course.
But like this, it's like I'm passionate about it, you know?
Yeah, I think Willow wants to come up.
Willow,
here, we gotta make a spot for her here.
Yeah, we'll make a spot. We have both dogs on us today.
Yes.
And this is just how it's going. Usually we don't do that, but we just couldn't say no today.
Yeah, they need love.
They do. Okay, topic number 2.
So I wanted to talk about the creator problem we have with social media. And in the past few years, we've had a big surge of cancel culture, and a lot of YouTubers, TikTokers, what have you, be labeled as problematic. And things being brought up from their past or something that they said privately, you know, surfacing, and then being labeled as something that shouldn't be watched by people, by kids. Like, they're problematic, they're controversial, they do stuff that is not socially acceptable.
Yeah, totally.
For example, you know, I bring this up because this creator has just recently come back from I think a 1.5 year, 2 year long hiatus, and it brought about this question of problematic YouTubers and should they be given their platform. So we're talking about Shane Dawson. And Shane Dawson is one of the OG YouTubers. He's been around since like
the beginning.
Yeah, like since the first year, 2008. I think YouTube started in 2007, and he started posting in 2008. So
a long time.
OG.
Yeah.
15 years, like.
Has worked his butt off.
Yeah, he's worked hard. He used to make comedy skits, music videos,
documentaries.
Yeah, he made a full-blown feature film. He was well liked by a lot of people for a very long time.
Very creative.
Yes.
He is very, like, we've got to give it to him.
He is. He's
very
He's
creative.
a great content creator.
Yeah, he is. But
he was canceled.
Well, he's been canceled a
billion times. But for the longest period of time, most recently at the beginning of the pandemic, because of a few different things. Number one, he was involved in a scandal that was the cancellation of another YouTuber, and he was kind of alleged to be behind it, and there was just basically
Scheming.
sketchy stuff,
Yeah.
and people didn't like it. So they kind of said, we don't like this, we don't want to watch him, we're boycotting him. And at that same time,
but we never got actual true facts about that.
it
So
was
that
all alleged, it was all pointing fingers
right,
behind the scenes.
Right. But there's other stuff that we have true facts about.
But yeah, at the same time, people had brought up his past, which during the early days of his YouTube, 2008 to like 2012, so 9 years ago, he, in a lot of his comedy skits, prominently did blackface.
Yeah.
Which is not okay, not acceptable. It's not like he was 14, 13, 12 at the time and didn't know better, was a kid. He is like in his, I think he's 33. So
he had to have been in his 20s.
He was in his early mid 20s.
Right.
He knew what he was doing. He should have known better. Blackface is never okay. He did blackface. I have my notes on him. He said racist jokes. Basically, he said the N-word a lot. In his
early videos.
Yes.
From 2008.
He also made a lot of jokes about pedophilia. Basically, also talked about on his podcast bestiality, talking about some sexual stuff with his cat, stuff like that came out. Just a lot of bad things that he's done, and a lot of people were like, why are we watching him? This guy did disgusting things. He should not be accepted, and he should not have a platform. Mind you, again, it's 8 years ago, obviously.
Right, so everything that we're talking about today, are we only referring to the things that happened 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to be very clear before I state my opinion.
But it's also like, he does have some responsibility, and I don't necessarily know if, like, do we want to, like, if somebody's proven to be problematic and for years he did something that was not okay, why should we give that person a platform? Like, obviously everybody's growing and learning, but not everybody has to grow and learn on such a public pedestal where kids watch, where kids are influenced, where people consume that content every day. Like, he can go live a normal life, grow and learn on his own, and not publicly post for millions of people.
Right. Yeah. So is that your opinion?
Yeah. I would love to hear your opinion, because you loved him.
I love Shane Dawson. In fact,
Present for him?
I miss him. And when I see him in Rylan, his fiance's videos, I'm happy to see him there because I miss him.
Yeah.
I am not disagreeing with anything that you're saying. I think what he did was wrong.
Yeah.
I think, Shane, you did things over and over and over again. Why haven't you learned your lesson, right? Because you're saying he did the same thing over and over again, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't right. He did the same thing over and over again. So it's you should have learned your lesson, dude. So I'm agreeing with you, but I am very biased. I am so biased. I am
but also to mention, you're not the one who should be accepting his apology. You're not,
no, God, no.
You're not this thing that it was aimed towards.
No,
so,
it wasn't.
So it's hard for you to have an opinion because
yes.
you can't accept his apology.
Yes. This is what I will say. I think when you talk about how should we be allowing him this platform, I don't think that's up to us because that is his creative outlook.
Outlet.
That is his creative outlet. We shouldn't be telling people that they can't go to the gym anymore because they don't wipe down the machines and so they don't learn their lesson time after time. But that's their outlet. That's how they get their energy out. That's how they get their anxiety out. That's how they...
Mind you, that's my biggest pet peeve about gym people. If
People,
you are
clean your machine before you get on.
and don't wipe
I
off
know,
your
that's
freaking
disgusting.
machine, I judge you
That's disgusting.
so hard.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yes.
I know what you're saying.
Yes, we do need to think about this and be like, do we really want him to be getting all of our money for ads and for our views when he's done things that are not great in the past? I don't know. But I don't think it's up to us to tell him like he shouldn't have a platform anymore, because that's his creative outlook. And if you know Shane, he has anxiety. He has deep depression. Yeah. He has problems where I think this takes him away from that world and he can really dive deep into this. Now, with that being said, he also apologized for all of this stuff. Now,
multiple times.
Whether it was a genuine apology or not, I'm not going to get into that.
Right.
And also, just because you apologize about something, like, actions speak louder than words. Right. So, like, there's a whole thing. Yes, this happened 8 years ago. Yes, he did it over and over again and all that stuff.
You're getting loud.
I'm getting loud because
so
I'm getting
passionate.
excited. But, you know, I do think that he was punished for what he did. He didn't make content for over a year now.
Was he punished? I mean,
there was a consequence. Let's just say that.
There was. It was self-imposed too. It was self-imposed.
Yes, you're right. So
it's all like, is it up to us? You know, also, if we start deplatforming people and taking away, you know, their YouTube channels, their social medias, like it's supposed to be a public company, so a public platform. Where does that end? Does it start with Shane and end with radical politicians? Like where all of a sudden is it used for, you know, opinions and where do we stop that?
I will also say that I feel very strongly about the topic that you brought up about how kids watch this stuff. That is not Shane's fault. I feel very strongly that you parents out there, yes, I'm talking to you, mom and dad, need to be watching what your children are watching. Like, you need to be paying attention to that. That's not Shane's problem. That's not Shane's fault. Shane backs himself up with who he put as himself out there. He backs himself up. Yeah. He's comfortable with himself. Yes, has he made mistakes? Yes. Yes, has he apologized? Yes. Yes, is he not perfect? No, no one's perfect. And I really do believe in, like, you have to make mistakes to learn from them. Now, I do also agree with what you said, like, okay, you learn from it, but then don't do it 4 more times. Like, that's it's
hard because it's also not just an isolated instance, not just Shane. It's the David Dobrik's of the world. There's another example.
Yeah. There's a
Jeffree
lot of
Stars,
people.
Trisha. You know what? Oh my God, my least favorite person on the entire earth is Keemstar, which is Drama Alert. I don't know if you've heard of his channel.
I have. Should they deserve this platform? Should they be getting this money?
No. Personally,
should they be getting...
Personally, I'm of the opinion, I know it's controversial, no. I don't think...
You can have that opinion.
Keemstar openly talks about how, like, these out there opinions that are so damaging to people, the R word, rape, doesn't exist inside of a relationship. Wrong. He consistently says that. You can't be raped orally. Wrong. It's the opinions he says, especially towards women, are so detrimental.
Yeah, and to touch base with David Dobrik, who I know
was in a sexual assault scandal.
Yeah, and I feel like we spent most of our time on Shane. Sorry to Shane lovers, but like,
there are a lot of people
like David Dobrik. The whole thing about like kids watching it and stuff. David Dobrik does do a lot of really, really dangerous, stupid stunts.
Yeah.
And he is encouraging a lot of kids that, like, some things are okay.
Oh, and heavy drinking.
Yes.
And like...
There's a very fine line because...
And he has a lot of kids. He won a Nickelodeon Choice Award.
I know.
He has a lot of kids watching, and it's scary.
But the thing is, Abby, he can't control who his audience is. Now his audience has gotten to like the high school, college age. And unfortunately, those younger kids are still watching him. I blame it on the parents. Yeah. I do. I blame it on the parents.
It's hard.
Like, you need to watch your kids. It's not David's fault. Now, am I saying what David's doing is okay? I'm not saying that. His stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, literal bat beep crazy. But this is his job. He's passionate about it. He puts in the time. I'm not saying that he doesn't work hard.
But the content he creates is
But
dangerous. Yeah.
It's dangerous, you know?
Yeah, I got
So
that.
to each their own. Like, all these different YouTubers are working hard. They're grinding. They're making a business. They're self-employed. Who can say that they are self-employed? I mean, it's getting to be a bigger number now. But it's not. But that used to not be a thing. Like, that's incredible. You know? He is living in a mansion.
In 20 years ago, people would have said you're crazy if you
you're
mentioned
crazy.
somebody like that.
Yeah. These people on YouTube are famous and living celebrity lives.
Yeah.
From being self-employed on YouTube. So it's just a very, very hard, fine line on, like, and like, I could even sound very hypocritical if I watch this back. Like, it's really hard to like say, are you on a side? Are you not on a side? Maybe I'm not taking sides, and
Maybe
I'm just saying.
Maybe you're a fence sitter, like.
Yeah, I'm a fence sitter, and I'm just saying my beliefs about both, you know. Yeah. But it's very interesting, and it is a real problem now affecting kids,
and it's going to be addressed more and more in the upcoming years as social media takes on even a more important part. Like, social media was, I want to say, just beginning when I was growing up, but I'm just like,
I was begging for a Facebook in high school. It was like the new thing. And I had to get good grades for a year and sign a contract that if I got Facebook, my grades would be kept up and I wouldn't be on Facebook scrolling.
I love that. Only Mike would make you sign a contract.
Literally, Mike was like, you're not getting Facebook. Absolutely not. And my brother and I were begging for it. And he said, fine, do your first year of high school. And if you have good grades, you can get it. And then when we did that and showed him, he said, okay, but now that you have it, you have to have good grades or it's coming away. We're taking it away.
I love that.
Yeah.
So social media in our lives, like, we kind of were the first people to grow up with it. And now.
And these younger kids have no idea what's happening.
No.
Because they're being exposed to it way too young.
From a young age.
I know, it's crazy. I know.
Like,
you wouldn't believe the things that I see my second graders watching on YouTube on their own time. Like, I can't control it because it's not.
But you have like so-called like iPad kids where like their parents just put them in front of YouTube 24/7 to keep them occupied. It's like that's how they grow up now.
It's crazy. The whole thing's crazy.
So I had 4 topics originally. We're kind of pushing time now, so we're gonna skip the crayons for kids segment.
Yeah, of course.
We're gonna bring it to next episode.
Absolutely.
But I think as we're talking about like social media, especially,
I would rather stay on the social media topic.
Yes, as we're talking about social media for kids, something actually came in front of Congress and the Senate about Instagram was creating a platform specifically for kids, and there was a whistleblower. An employee from, Facebook owns Instagram, from Facebook, that said that Facebook is overlooking the dangers of this platform and just continuing to build it. But the effects that it has on the mental health of its users are being completely overlooked. And it's dangerous, and they were worried, and they told, and they came out about it, and
good for them.
And
I completely agree. I don't even know what I'm going to do for my own future children because I'm so scared of it. Like, I don't know. Am I a good mom? Am I a bad mom? Am I a mean mom? Are my kids just going to go to their friends' houses and then, like, binge watch everything because I say no? Like, the whole thing scares me, and I think it's a real problem.
And there's a few different platforms that are made for kids. YouTube for kids.
Sure.
Facebook Messenger for kids.
Sure,
they have like something like that. Like, but also, like, where does it draw the line of like, how about we just don't have kids on the platform?
How about we go outside and play?
Like, I think Instagram is 13 and above.
How about we go collect bugs?
Yeah.
Or pick flowers? How about we take paper towel and toilet paper rolls and create a marble run? Anything else but being on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, like, so the idea was, like, since Instagram is for people of a certain age, the idea was to cater to younger kids, make an app for younger kids that parents would be more okay with giving their kids. Horrible. And, like, Instagram is notorious for being terrible for body image issues, anxiety, depression.
Also, just to add into that, adults can't even handle social media.
Exactly.
I literally had to get rid of my social media because I couldn't handle it.
So here's where I have some data. So according to a Pew Research study in 2018, 88% of the respondents from ages 18 to 29 reported using some kind of social media. 88%.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I honestly would have thought it was more like 95%.
At the same time, a 2018 British study tied to social media use proved that the use of it decreased, disrupted, and delayed sleep, which led to depression, memory loss, and worse academic performance. It has also been linked to negatively affecting physical health more directly, between like the mind and the gut. Anxiety, depression can, turn into nausea, headaches, muscle tension, tremors.
Yeah.
It's like we still don't know. It's only been maybe 15 years of social media. We don't know the long-term consequences of it. There's been a lot of short-term studies that have linked heavy social media use to depression, anxiety, loneliness, self-harm, like suicidal thoughts, stuff like that. Like,
it's absolutely bonkers. And just to be like super crystal clear, I am a fan of technology. I think technology can be a great tool.
Like it's medical use, it's applications.
Even in teaching, even with kids.
Teaching, and exactly.
Like, not even technology, not even like, I'm not trying to zoom it in on one career path. I'm just saying in general, I think it's a great tool and resource. What I'm saying is, balance and boundaries, people. Balance and boundaries.
It's hard because I think social media also kind of gets into like the addiction part of our brain. Like,
oh, for sure.
There is like, it's kind of like using drugs. Like, social media activates that reward center and releases dopamine, which is a feel-good chemical linked to pleasurable activities.
Yeah.
And these platforms that are created like Instagram and TikTok, they're designed to be addictive. You scroll for like a 6-second video, you scroll a 10-second video. You're constantly being rewarded mentally. And then when you're outside of that bubble, like when you try and detach yourself, you get anxiety, you get depression. You almost feel like you're missing out on something, like FOMO.
Yeah.
Like you're missing out on the world.
And these kids who are that young,
even
in high school.
Navigating that in high school was hard for me. I had so much FOMO. I felt like I was like, if I didn't get enough likes, I only had like 100 followers when I was in high school. I still only have like 200 now, but I remember like posting pictures and being like, oh my God, I have 5 likes. Nobody loves me. I looked ugly. And then deleting it.
That's crazy.
Think about 8-year-olds doing that.
I know. I can't even. It makes me sad. I can't.
But I don't think the solution is create a social media
No,
app
I don't
for
either.
kids.
I don't either.
So
parents are going to watch that. They're going to think, oh, that's safe. And then kids are going to go in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Facebook has stopped it. They told Congress that they're no longer continuing to develop it, but people are saying they don't think that is enough. They think they need to impose stricter, regulations on the app, and so that
you're gonna get in trouble
aren't
because
in
it's
it.
like, we can do what we want. Parents can do what they want with their kids. They can like freedom of.
And at the end of the day,
their rights and stuff.
Social media websites are money makers. Like, they make billions of dollars.
Yeah, it's a huge.
So to reduce like the platform,
right,
and to put certain restrictions or maybe even restrict ads that are for things like, I don't know, condoms or something like that. Like restrict that is all taking money away from.
They're not going to go for that.
Exactly.
They're not going to watch which ad goes on which video. It's just not going to happen.
So unless I feel like unless something comes out,
I'll tell you what needs to happen. Balance and boundaries. Balance.
But how do you systematically get people to do that?
Well, you don't. It comes from your good angel on your shoulder. It's not something you can control or make a difference.
Exactly. So it's
everyone's SOL.
Exactly. Maybe it's the government. Maybe the government should regulate it.
Are you kidding me? People are going to lose their minds.
We're in a tricky situation. Something needs to happen to like change things, but I'm worried where social media is going to be in just 5 years.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I want to be like a good mom, but like I don't want to be.
And think
mean
about like
mom.
artificial intelligence. Like, Oh my God, is there gonna be a chip in our brains where we interact with social media? Like, what was that? What was that TV show on Netflix? Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah.
That's
okay. Well, this was a great time.
Oh my God, social media is like a topic that is
we could talk about forever.
Close to our hearts.
Yeah, totally.
So to recap, if you're a parent out there, just be weary. Even Mike and Jan. I watch your daughter's TikToks. You should be watching your daughter's TikToks, Mike and Jan.
Did you really just do that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Not Emily, the younger ones. Just be careful of what the content that you're...
You just called my parents out on our podcast.
I know.
Oh my gosh, Abigail.
Just in general, for parents, like, be weary.
Be in your kids' lives.
Yeah.
Be present.
Right.
Also you can't be crazy because they will go to their... I've babysat kids before where like they don't get candy or they don't get TV time or they don't get anything. It's
There's
like
a balance.
It's like Sergeant, and then they come and they binge, and you feel so bad for them as they're shoving candy down their throats and making themselves sick because mom and dad only let you have dessert on Wednesdays and Fridays. Because I babysat for kids who did that.
Yeah, that's really difficult.
And I was like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's
hard to find a balance. Parenting and all is hard.
Yeah, parenting's hard.
And for adults too, use social media.
And we act like we know what we're talking about. We have no children.
Parents.
Yeah, we're not
But
parents.
for adults who have trouble with social media and linked to, anxiety, depression,
talk to your
stuff
friends.
Like that.
Get help. There are other people that feel this way.
Yeah, I think the best thing too is reach out to a therapist.
Yes.
Like, start a relationship with a therapist.
Or even your doctor if you can't go to a therapist yet, and like find resources or see what you can do to get to a therapist.
Yeah, there's a lot of like mental health clinics, stuff like that. Like even if you're in college, there's
always stuff on
counselors.
campus. Yeah.
That's a really good resource. So so if you like need a day break, or even if a day seems like too much to be away from social media, take like a few hours and turn social media off. Like if you're on it every minute of every day and a day seems too long, take a few hours, read a book.
Yeah, don't cut cold turkey. We're not saying that.
The more that you do that, the more you interact, like plan fun activities, so that you keep your mind off of it. But it's
careful.
hard. Just be careful. Social media is hard.
It's hard. It's a hard topic. But Abby, this was fun. Great 3 topics.
Loved it.
Had a good time. It's always a pleasure.
And I already have like next week's episode planned too now.
Boom. Yes.
I love
that for us. All right, well, everybody, thank you so much for coming to our show once again. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, we love you. Thank you so much. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, we appreciate
so
you.
Much.
Make sure you like our channels, hit the bell button. That way you can get notifications of when we post new things. Subscribe to us. We are growing, and
we're just 2 girls in their 20s just trying to make some fun content. We love consuming content, and
we love spending time with each other.
Exactly.
Well, welcome to We Talk a Lot. We had a great time. Thank you so much.
And we'll see you next week. I'm Abby.
And I'm Emmy.
Bye.